Hello, hello, hello. You're returning into another episode of TheWunderkindShow. Today's first topic, Mina and NFL Live say that Malachi starts to be the savior for the Baltimore Ravens defense. Look. Guys, I was the first one that would tell you I did not want a safety number one in this draft. That's what I said. I did not. I also said I wanted more O-line. And I gave you the reasons why. But I did say I believe Malachi Starks is going to be a very, very good player. And now with the injury to the up-and-coming Ardarius Washington, Malachi Stark has now went from being a want to an absolute defensive need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio from the NFL Live from Mina, and I forgot the other guy's name, and then we're going to break it down and finish it up, all right? So without further ado, we're going to get this going, all right? Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more content like this, okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. All right, let's go.
Yeah. I think Malachi Starks might be one of the biggest additions, draft, trade, free agency, or otherwise, in all of football this year. When you think about what he's able to do to that defense, he frees up, as long as he plays well and plays early, which I believe he will, he frees up Kyle Hamilton to be one of the best players in football. Kyle Hamilton had to move to that deep safety slot as the season went on. He ended up changing the entire Ravens defense. They became one of the best units in all of football. And now he's going to be able to free up and play 4 or 5 positions. And so, by the way, is Starks. Eric DeCosta, their GM, said that Starks is wired like a Raven, which there's not a lot of teams where that should scare you. If you're wired like a Brown, wired like a Jet, that doesn't scare you. If you're wired like a Raven, that should scare teams this year. This is a guy that I think this time next year we will not believe slipped to the Ravens.
Yeah, it was one of those picks when it happened. Everyone said, of course. He's on the Baltimore Ravens. I agree with Kevin. I think the other thing to highlight is this pick, Malachi Starks, went from being this awesome pick, allows them to be more versatile, to a real necessity because last year, the Ravens defensive coordinator, Zach Ward, basically turned things around by putting Kyle Hamilton and Ardarius Washington at safety. Ardarius Washington got hurt. They need Malachi Starks to start. And so this pick, I think, proved to be extremely crucial. And honestly, I would have serious question marks about the Ravens defense this year if they had not made it.
So, guys, I want to make sure that I say this. The Baltimore Ravens has always been a team that has had strong defensive philosophies, meaning everything has been centered mostly around hard-nosed, blue-collar defense. And they have put a lot of draft capital and money into that defense. With that being said, Malachi Starks with Kyle Hamilton, if he starts out, I think he's going to start off a little rocky, the first 2-3, because mind you, he's not like, he's going to get tested early. So I think after the first 4 or 5 weeks, then you're going to really see him settle in and really gain his footing. Because remember, he's going up against Josh Allen. He's going to be going up against Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff. Come on now, bro. That's a gauntlet, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jared Goff is in there too. So he has some of the best quarterbacks, 3 of the top 8 best quarterbacks he'll be going against in the first 4 weeks of the season. And they will be targeting him constantly and frequently. So I think he's going to have shaky. Now, if he comes out like gangbusters, well, then all bets are off. Then the Ravens defense, we might end up having the best defense this year, and then going to the Super Bowl shouldn't be that big of a problem. Unless, God forbid, someone gets hurt. Knock on wood. But Malachi Starks, everyone that talks about him, says he has such versatility to his game. He's like a smaller, faster Kyle Hamilton. You could put him on multiple places for him to be successful. And then having 2 guys like that on the back end gives you so many solutions to problems because you can line them up in the slot where Malachi actually did most of his damage in college, was lining up against that slot receiver or that tight end and taking them away. So now you can have Kyle roaming, or then you can switch it up and have Kyle doing that and have him roaming. There's just so many different things that they could do to mix up coverages that you don't know what's going to be coming at you next. And that leaves the opposing teams wondering. It keeps them up extra late. It makes them second guess certain things. It makes them half step. So I'm not going against the validity or the importance of a Malachi Stark. I always remain true to whatever I've said because I don't run from it. If I'm wrong, I'll tell you I'm wrong. Right? A lot of people got on me and said, see, our Darius Washington got hurt. We need Malachi Starks. And that very well may be the case. But we got to start seeing what we have in these other guys too. Malachi is a rookie. We can hope for him to come out like gangbusters. Reality is he'll have a decent year. You'll see flashes. And then he should take another step. Same thing with Kyle. Same thing with the most defensive players. You see the flashes and then they take off after their second year. And I'm thinking he'll probably do that. We got Boo or B-E-A-U, that guy on the air. We got Tampa. We got a lot of guys on the back end that we don't know how they're going to fare moving forward. So we got to keep an eye on that too because, mind you, Kyle Hamilton always misses about a game or gets knocked out of a game for a stinger in his arm or a leg or gets, because, he's a hard hitter. So we got to have guys in the wings that can also play well too. So we're going to see how this works out. I think he's going to be a good player, like I said. But I always reiterate so that y'all know exactly what I said. I don't run from what I said. I just wish we would have took him in the second round. But everyone keeps saying that if we would have waited, he wouldn't have been there. Philly would have took him. So that's why we took him where we had taken him. But hey, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to see what goes on. It ended up being an important pick because now we have solidification with the absence of an Ardarius. And we're going to see how this thing goes. So, like I said, I'm really, I told you I'm worried about him in the first couple weeks, and I'm worried about the O-line. But if those things get shored up, this could be one of those years where the Ravens run the table. So we're going to see what happens moving forward, you know what I'm saying? But, he is important. He has to come out. There's so much on his plate, it's ridiculous. He's being told right now that you're starting. You're starting game one. You got to think, play, and react like a Raven. Good luck, Godspeed. You know what I'm saying? That's difficult for any person. For any person. Just being real. But what do you guys think? Do you agree with them saying that he was probably one of the most important picks this offseason? And how well do you think he's going to do this year with the absence of Ardarius? Do you think he's going to shine? Do you think he's going to have some difficulties? Let me know what you think down in the comments. You can please, all right? But as always, that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. Thank you for watching. And now we get down, we have fun, and we laugh. But everything we talk about, we do what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment, guys. You know I love the comments. If you haven't already done so already, check out The Wunderkind Morning Show live Monday through Thursdays, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. where we touch on all topics in sports. And at the end of every show, we have a little bit of nostalgia trivia from the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. So, guys, be there, be squared. Support that channel. We're building. Also, if you'd like to donate and support monetarily, bottom of the screen, QR code to a Cash App. Cash App located in the description of every video that we do. Name of it is money sign, The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show. This show is not just signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Huh? Yerp.
Finish him, Daddy.